Hey everybody, it's Christian Buckley doing another MVP Buzz Chat, and I'm talking today with Lalit. Hello.
Hi, Christine. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well, and how are things down in your part of the world? I know. Thanks for staying up late.
Yeah, it's been 11 a.m. at India, but it's been nice talking to you.
It's not
So
so bad then.
with
Well,
those, uh,
so for folks that don't know you, who are you? Where are you? And what do you do?
so I'm based out of India, and I'm a Microsoft MVP from last 6 years. I've started my contributions from 2016 as and when Azure they have just launched the Azure, and at that time I didn't know whether this is going to be a game changer. So I have to change my job. I have to learn some things. I got introduced to one of the community, and that community leader told me like, "Would you like to start contributing it?" So we looked down my YouTube video. There's a channel, and then I started contributing from 2016. And for an MVP, I have waited for another 4 to 5 years. The first MVP I got in 2019 on Azure. I was the first Microsoft MVP on Azure, and then I learned, started writing blogs, and I looked out the other MVPs how they are contributing. So I started contributing, organizing event, started going and talking on the events, sharing my technical ability to the people, help them to grow in technical areas. And
Mm-hmm.
now I've been training more than 5,000, 6,000 people in a year. And you don't believe me, I have been training to CXO level people. They come for my advice if they're stuck in any of the technical issues. We do consulting, training, and lot more other things. But the journey hasn't been started like this. It's been lots of struggle because when you don't know the path, you have to find the path, right? And that is pretty hard because no one is going to tell like what MVP program is. We don't have that much of documents. Nothing was there.
It's a black box anyway. I mean, how you get in, it's not the same for every two MVPs.
That's
There's plenty of space to be creative in the types of things that you're doing and contributing.
that's true. Even like later on, I'll come to know like it's not that whatever the contributions which you are doing, right? It is also how you are influencing and helping or and mentoring the people around the world. It's not the one category which you have contribute. If you are doing the podcast, that is one part, but whether you will doing an online some of those trainings or the community works, and how much diversity related things you will be doing in your technology. So I was just started Microsoft 365 Azure. I was there in MVP. I just started helping M365 community organizing a couple of events, and that's the reason I just got the dual MVP this year. And that's been surprising. I say, wow, that's amazing, right? So I've been also doing a lot of things in and around AI, M365, Azure, and you name the technology in and around Azure, I'll be in it.
Yeah, as you pointed out, getting earning the dual MVP. This last round of renewals, you had a lot of people that suddenly got a dual MVP, which is great to see Microsoft recognizing that most of us are like we're touching on multiple technology areas. And so to get that official recognition of that, I mean, one, it's showing that these people are doing a substantial amount of work in two different areas. And I've met a couple that I think just two that I'm aware of that are triple MVPs.
Triple MVP, yes,
Yeah,
yes.
which is crazy. It's like, what do you work? Are you wealthy and don't need to have a job and could just concentrate on this? But I know some people ask me with the stuff that I do and podcasting and blogging and stuff like, do you ever work? It's like, yeah, I just don't sleep. That's the trade-off.
Ah, that's
But
that's true. That's true. Like whoever want to get the success, they don't sleep. Rather than they'll just find out the way when to get in a small sleep and then start working. So I
yeah,
know one of my friend Morton, he got triple MVP this year, and he's based out of UK, and he's so surprised that he got triple MVP. and he's been in India for one of the conference, and he is an amazing speaker.
That's
And
great.
and
What would you say? What are your primary contribution types? What are your favorite things to do in the community?
I love doing podcast, and more than that, I'll just go and speak local conferences. I want that in person event. That is most loving because when I go and talk to the people, we have that bonding, we have that connections. The idea which we can share, they'll understand, right?
Yeah.
And that is something amazing. And you build a network around it rather than doing an online events. 20 people joins, 30 people joins. It's not that too interactive because there will be a lot of other speakers coming into the same conferences, and there is 1:1 ratio, and you have the limited time. But as an offline event or in-person event, after your session, you'll be here for half an hour or 1 hour. Who has attended your session? They'll come out to breakout room. They'll go reached out to say, "Hey, hi Christian, hi Lalit. I wanted to talk to you. I wanted to get your mentorship,"
Yeah.
and then it's how you feel the value, like the session which you have given, the knowledge which you have given to them, right? What's value to them, right? And they'll start following on your LinkedIn. They reached out to you, and that's how you build your network,
Yeah.
and that's the amazing part.
You know, just to something too to think about. I mean, I've done a lot of sessions. I'm sure you've done the same thing where there's not a lot of questions, and especially when you're in presenting to a large audience, sometimes people are really nervous depending on the region. Some parts of the world, it's like they just don't raise their hand, they don't ask questions. But as soon as you're done and off stage, then people line up and ask questions, and it really is a good indicator of like, okay, this was a successful topic, or I confused everyone and they have nothing but questions. But I like to think that they enjoyed the presentation. They come up and have got them thinking, and they come up and ask other questions and do follow-ups. But yeah, it's like the same for me. It's I love doing those, and versus like I don't do as many just pure online, just digital, like dial in, do a webinar type stuff like we were all doing during the pandemic. I prefer to do the in person events. So getting ready for the next month, I've got 3. I'm very excited to get out and see people in these different communities.
Yeah, and that's the beauty. And I would like to share one of the experience was where I was talking. I've been selected as a speaker in one of the Asia's biggest conference, TechXConf. I was in Chennai, and whereas one mentee came and talked to me. I don't have much time because people are just around me, and then after that, I got some time. He came to me and say, "Hey, Lalit, I've been waiting for 30 minutes." I'll say, "Tell me, like, how can I help you?" I'll say, "You started your community back in 2016, 17. I was the first or second person to join this community. You have been trained on this group. You helped a lot. And because of you, I am a Kubernetes administrator or the whatever the position he is in today." And it just has this well, emotional movement. I don't understand like what I have contributed to you. I even didn't remember you, but then he's become part of that. Like, this is the community work which we are delivering
Yeah.
without thinking like what. Anyways, we will be contributing, but we are not thinking about it. But we are making the changes to the world, to the people, and helping them to grow. And that's how the really a community work will take you to the next level.
Yeah, it's. I mean, you're exactly right. It's something that's just so fulfilling about that. It's not about like, hey, you learned from me. That's not what it's about. It's like, hey, if I've got something, like you might be much better at that. You might go much deeper than I ever did in that topic. But if I can help you to get unblocked in whatever way that you're blocked, if it's nervous about like not knowing how to get started, where to go and to do the research, how to get in and network with people, how to kind of get the ball rolling down that web. If I can help with that process, then I want to be able to do that. It's I, I there's a longer story behind it, but there's this idea of like, I don't need to personally get something out of every interaction, every community activity, every session that I give. It's not about my own personal growth. I'm going to get value out of that, like just doing that and practicing and hearing the questions, hearing the
Yeah.
feedback, like all of that. But it's not about me. It's about people learning that, picking up and doing something with it, taking that on, and learning and growing and doing something with it. I love to hear those stories of how people get
That's
inspired and then what they go and do. And that's why it's like we need to all of us need to continually pay it forward, help identify others, help unblock other people, and
true.
then be there in a supportive role.
Yeah, that's true. Like even when we are discussing prayers together, you have been trainer, and I'm sure you have been also experienced that someone might have came to you and say, "Hey, Christian, on that day you have been trained me," or they just message you. I'm really thankful because of you. I'm able to perform this job, or might get promoted, or whatsoever the reason. Right? Do
Mhm.
you have any such example?
Well, I mean, a lot, but like one of my favorite things is doing, getting ready to relaunch, doing an AMA series where
Wow.
we, as a group of us, there's about 20 of us, but we do it in smaller groups, answer questions that are posted out on various community sites. And we have some people that come directly with questions or that we've individually, that kind of bring and say, hey, I want to cover this question that I heard. I did a training this last week and this question, and I thought a lot about it. And I love that where you get the real world examples. So you get the here's what they're trying to accomplish. Here's the goal, and then here's the outcome. Here's a method. And what I love is when people look at that and they go, okay, that's great. It's like, but you guys didn't talk about this, and this other way of solving the problem. It's like, wow, that is fantastic. And so I will go in, like I do little blog posts on it, and we share kind of the solution in the video. If somebody comes and is like, you completely forgot this other one, I'm like, that's fantastic. I will mention that person that brought it forward. I might, create a second video for that. I will sing their praises for doing that. So again, it's about helping people get unstuck, and if there's another even better way of doing it, highlighting the good work of that other people did. I love doing that. It's about I want this just like everybody else does, that when I have a question, I know that if there's not official documentation, which usually it's limited what there's documentation around, there's somebody out there who has experienced this, and there's likely a blog post or a video answering that question.
That's true, and that is the reason I always believe, like you have to learn. You can learn from a office boy to a VP. Everyone has one or another quality. Rather, they will share their experience or not, but you might learn from someone a simplicity, but from the big shot you might learn the business corporate experience, right? As and when you grow, each stage, right, is 2 years or 3 years or 5 years of gaps, you find the different mentors. And we talk about like in your journey who will be the mentors. It's not one, it's in every stage. You'll get a mentors, right, who will help you to guide you. And you don't believe me, like I was in Microsoft event where when I started my job, one person, Amit Madolkar, he is my team lead. When I was going and talking first time, I didn't know whether he's coming, he didn't know I'll be speaker, but he's quite happy that, oh, I have seen this boy, he don't know English, and now he's coming on the stage and talking, right? And he's pretty happy. At that time, when I was not able to perform my work, he is just seeing that energy on me and seeing the capability that he can do it. He'll just go and shout at me like, "You did this wrong." I want you to be correct. So that's the feedback. If you cannot take it, you will not grow.
Yeah.
Because people will come to you and say directly, you'll have to do it. These things has to be corrected, until unless they will not see that this guys has the capability to grow and accept those feedbacks. And
Yeah.
that's a beautiful part of it.
Yeah. Well, it's also why you have people that become MVPs that are MCTs that do that. Like that they're prime for poaching by companies. Here are people that have gone through that are community minded, that are kind of servant leadership, training mindset, like all of those things. That's who you want as an employee.
True.
So by going and building that up, and I know there's a lot of us that prefer to be independent and prefer to have, to be out there to free to go and work with the people that I like and on projects that I like. And there's plenty of work that's out there, but it's yeah, I mean, all of these skills are highly sought after. So it's a good crowd. Even if you don't end up becoming an MVP, you never get selected because again, it is a black box.
Yeah, it
Microsoft
is.
Microsoft picks who they sometimes. I mean, you and I, we both know people that like we think deserve fully being an MVP, the stuff that they're doing, and just never get the nod. That like they never get pulled into the program. But it doesn't matter as that's just an award by one company. There are people that are doing amazing things for the community all over the place, and so there's
Yeah.
still a lot of that you can learn. And again, you don't have to be getting personal reward out of it. But my experience is the people that are most generous and active within the community, generally, those are the qualities that get them hired, get them secured within their organizations.
Yeah, like that's there, but I would say like MVP is just an award. If you are contributing towards the community, you are already an MVP. Because MVP is, it depends on certain criteria. I have seen many people whom I have nominated, they haven't been selected. They are the influencer and other people. So there have been some categories after the nominations which has been emulating by the different uh, businesses, or I'm not sure what is their evolutions process and the criteria inside the Microsoft, and then they will find out the real guy who is contributing and impact the whatever the impact they have creating to the community and to the wider world. They have been selected, and many a time like they just wanted to have more MVPs, or but their evolutions process are fairly fairly, like they just don't pitch in that this is the guys we know that can be do it for the MVP and all, but they have very fair process. So if you're a true contributor, they'll give it, but still I will say the processes, and there are so many requests, right? Everyone wants to become an MVP, and there will be based on the criteria, you might be from the half of the marks you might be down, or half of the marks you'll be up. I've seen many MVP who's been really contributing good. Next time they haven't been renewed their MVP,
Yeah,
right? So it is again like for me, just start contributing, whether you will be an MVP or not, but you are the community builder. You are helping the people. If
yeah,
you will not get it today, you will get it tomorrow. If you will not get an MVP, you will be into the next reward.
yeah.
We don't know where our luck is going to take, the destiny where it is going to take. But because of the one award, we can't stop doing the good things,
Right.
right? So
Yep.
I always go with this. So just help the people, whether you'll get the outcome or not, doesn't matter.
Don't stop doing good things. That's a good message. Yeah. That is. Well, uh, Lalit, I really appreciate your time today, and I know we'll have all your contact details out in the blog post and out on YouTube. I really appreciate it. Hey, hope to see you at the MVP Summit. Are you going to make it this next spring?
I will try to come. That's
I
for
know it's a
sure.
long way and it's an expensive journey, for everyone. But yeah, hopefully we'll see you there next year.
Yeah, well, catch up at MVP Summit.
Yeah, well, thanks so much, everybody, for watching as well. So be sure to check out the series out on the blog as well as out on YouTube, and we'll talk to you soon.